to. Um, it's called, I don't know if you can see that, Trump 2020 with a strike through it. As our hands are about to drag us over the finish line, the possibility of another 4 years strikes us on the head with anxiety. For those choosing a broken economy over public health, imagine you're forcibly stripped naked, expected to comply as if it takes the same ease as returning a smile to an old friend who is blind to your pleas. Goosebumps conquer your skin as cold fingers trace your fists, your hardened shoulders, your lips. Measuring tape caresses your chin slowly before wrapping itself around your throat. They sit you down on something cold to your naked ass and thighs and bombard you with 1-inch binders of pallets. Which shade of oppression wears you best? No one stops to ask you if you agree with the color choice, the shade, if you think it matters. It is expected, as if it isn't some newly written lie molded into truth with common sense left to harden over centuries. You're dressed in ill-fitting garments made of mismatched cloth and shoved into a dimly lit runway. The aged audience claps and you beg, is this who we are? Is this what we represent? Who are we when ideas are sewn into our skin? Needle pulling threads of strung up alternative facts. Who are we when lies govern which air we breathe and what water quenches our thirst? Who are we when our zip code determines the quality of our children's education and their likeliness to end up behind bars? Who are we when self-love is a political statement, when valuing your life is a political statement, when fighting for clean water and air is a political statement, when marrying someone who looks like you is a political statement, when learning about where you come from is a political statement, when speaking your mother tongue is a political statement, when asking for your unalienable rights is a political statement, when your existence is a political statement, when giving birth to yourself is a political statement, when demanding safety from your institution of higher learning is a political statement. Who are we? When our children learn to associate skin to social caricatures before they have their home address memorized. We are a nation shackled by apathy. And who are you? You are history, insisting on being a broken record at the expense of posterity, of liberty, of justice, of freedom. The oldest among us, yet no wiser. So just some like background stuff. I've totally like halfway through, I was like, I gave no context whatsoever. The prompt for 22 under 22, like the original prompt was, what is something that you want to say to the older generations? And so that was the prompt for this poem. Next, I'm going to read the poem that I actually have in It Can't Happen Here. Originally, the poem was commissioned for a podcast that one of my friends actually started called Slice of Americana. I'm gonna put the link to it in the chat later. And so the whole premise of the podcast is to talk about things that like represent America to different people, different artists from their points of view, from different walks of life. And so, yeah. This is called Fuck Your Apple Pie. In 2006, a Minnesota wind greeted me, along with immigration services, and howled, the Star-Spangled Banner. For years, its howling was a frequency my ears could not understand. I heard silence, complacency, but it still howled. It went something like, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly is hailed as the greatest country on earth? Oh, say, can you see the rocket's red glare of bodies trailing from sea to shining sea? Can you see the perilous fight for freedom, for liberty, for the right to bear arms heavy with shameful history? Can you see giving annual thanks to murderers? Can you see generations birthed to work? Can't you see? I heard nothing. Silence, complacency. And every day I would stand up and pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the stolen land on which it stands, one nation built on the back of my enslaved ancestors, divisible of hell with liberty and justice for none. And one day, finally, I heard it. I heard it howling, finally, and the ringing in my ear caused me to go mad, so this angry Black woman began howling. You want me to thank my lucky stars that the flag still stands for genocide and subjugation, for secession, for insurrection, that this flag still waves a green light for oppression, for racism, for homophobia, for sexism, for xenophobia, for the right for human beings to dehumanize other human beings? But God bless the United States of armed forces located in 70 different countries. They trample across the earth, bald ego leading them, screeching, this land is my land, this land resource is my resource, turning to his troops and they chant back, this land was made for you and me. From Burkina Faso to the Philippines, this land was made for you and me, and the bombs bursting in air give continuous proof to the world that colonialism and imperialism is alive and well. Oh, I'm ruining your apple pie, interfering with your manifest destiny. Oh, I'm manifesting destiny, all right. I'm manifesting universal health care. I'm manifesting the burning of red line white picket fences. I'm manifesting affordable education. I'm manifesting senators who do more than tweet. I'm manifesting abolition. I'm manifesting reparations because y'all Louisiana purchased Mother Africa's children and stole their identities. I'm manifesting waking up one morning and saying I'm proud to be an American. Thank you. You see everyone clapping, but it's so weird because I'm not hearing anything. Zoom is so interesting. Okay, so this next one, it was actually my first ever spoken word slam poem. I was in speech, on a speech team my senior year of high school. And so originally this was like a 9-minute speech that I condensed into a 3-minute slam poem. It's about the first time somebody called me the N-word online on Facebook, actually. And so, yeah. Nigger, you look burnt. You look like dirt. Delete this. Those words materialize on my computer screen, digital, but tangible enough to slither into my 12-year-old ears. Their venomous echo continues to penetrate my ego. Mr. Anonymous, I have some questions for you. And I must warn you, this is not an interview. This is an interrogation. It's my fists slamming, my eyes staring, my ears smoking, my mouth screaming, my mind seeking the answer to my least favorite question, why? Do I need a smaller nose? Is my skin too dark of a tone? Why couldn't you just have leave me alone? Don't feed me your lies. I see you avoiding my eyes. No more hiding behind your computer screen. I'm forcing you in all of your racist glory to be seen. Would some extensions gain your validations? Perhaps some chemicals in my hair, you know? Give it a little flare, much like the inferno in my eyes that's causing you to sweat. Answer me. Why is my skin fetishized, but my hair criticized, my personality stigmatized, yet my body idolized? No, you can't speak to your liar, lawyer, because we both know I can't truly prosecute racism. No, especially not in this system, in which anonymity whitewashes accountability, in which your identity is concealed by white cotton grown in the same dirt you say I look like, in which the gavel is wielded by old hairy white hands, a system in which the brown paper bag still testifies against me, the jury of my peers don't represent me, the judges themselves don't believe me, even my ally friends won't defend me. Mr. Anonymous, you're the one on trial, yet I've been charged with the crime. The predetermined verdict hangs in the air, building tension with each swing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with the same rhythm. You imagine me swinging back and forth at the gallows hung like my ancestors who have been executed before me by men hiding their faces as if we don't already know what their race is. Mr. Anonymous, beyond these soundproof walls and bulletproof glass lies the world in which you are me and I am you. You, the agent, and I, the target behind the computer screen that protects you but leaves me vulnerable to venomous words and poisonous slurs. Behind the computer screen, a computer screen, it's a computer screen. Mr. Anonymous, you're right. I should delete this. Nigger, delete this. You look burnt, delete this. You look like dirt, delete this. Mr. Anonymous, deleted. Cool. That was my first ever slam poem. So good times. Okay, so this next one is called Blue Lives Matter. For a very specific reason, because I want to evoke a specific feeling before like starting the poem. Yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. Black gets stabbed, blue gets a tear. Black bleeds, blue does not. Blue loses job, black loses life. Blue is fabric, black is my skin. Blue is unalive, Black Lives Matter. I say Black Lives Matter, and Mr. Privilege replies, so does Blue. He's got a business, a wife, a daughter, and a son. I say my life matters, and the good cop replies, yes, it does, and I will do everything in my power to protect and serve you, to protect you from the bullets and keep the blood pumping through your veins. I always wonder about you, good cop. I wonder where you are. And yes, I'm aware that you exist, and I know the media doesn't pay you any attention because frankly, doing your job correctly is not newsworthy, but where are you? Where are you when my brothers are being racially profiled? Where are you when my sisters are being targeted? Where are you when we need you to report dangerous and aggressive behavior? Where are you when we need you to keep your peers in check? Because somehow only bad cop arrives at the scene and somehow he gets flustered, somehow he forgets his training, somehow he panics, somehow he reaches for his gun instead of his taser, somehow he aims, and somehow the target is always father or brother or sister or me. Bullets more numerous than the years to our lives kiss us with America's love for peace and law and order, and our bodies fall to the floor so that Mrs. Privilege can fearlessly swing her purse under the protective eyes of her mailman, her pastor, and her president. And they're singing, this land is your land, this land is my land, and they won't let us sing along. So please talk to them, good cop, speak. Speak of my brothers and sisters that are shackled by the slave master named fear. Remind them that Philando Castile too had a job, a girlfriend, a daughter. Sandra Bland was a hard worker. Jamar Clark loved his mother. Tamir Rice loved to ride bikes. Remind them that mothers don't sleep without praying to God that their sons and daughters make it home without being shot, because Black gets stabbed, blue gets a tear. Black bleeds, blue does not. Blue loses job, Black loses life. Blue is fabric, Black is my skin. Blue is unalive, Black Lives Matter. Cool. Okay, thank you. So I have two more, because I write about other things as well, besides, Blackness. This one is called Audacity 2, because there's an Audacity 1. I'm bad at titling things, honestly. So a lot of things are untitled, and so I have to pick something. So yeah. It's pathetic, you see, to take the soul you've been gifted and triple belt yourself into the ill-fitting jeans of my love. Loose. You, an umber Band-Aid on wounds too great for your stitching. Blood wears down your elasticity, yet you deny an inevitable peeling. I am in need of infinite stitches, and you are a small layer of antibiotic wrapped in his gaze, which, if it makes you feel any better, will also be removed and disposed of. I am a series of slashes and burns, broken bones and infections. It is foolish to deem yourself my sole caretaker. Foolish to roam the earth with a piece of puzzle moaning to be consumed by the whole damn thing. Life is too long to deny yourself clarity. Wipe your glasses. Um, and so this one is called Resentment. And the men in resentment is in parentheses for a specific reason. When I do title things, like I have a very specific title in mind, like probably before I start writing the poem, which is like weird. But yeah. The abandonment wound on my psyche throbs. It has been gashed open, this time gushing, raw flesh seething at the notion of starting the scarring all over again. The aloe plants in my grandparents' yard teleport to me and use their gel to soothe. The emotional pain ripples, rendering me dizzy, confused, hands on walls searching for a doorknob. I need to get out. The floor beneath me collapses into the wound itself, and I fall into a pus-filled bloodbath of emotional trauma. Too many times has the gas been lit on my reality. I let myself be consumed because there is nothing I want more than to let go. So I let myself get dragged to the core of the wound. They all stand before me. My eyes close as I imagine their heads rolling. I exhale. You're all forgiven, except you. Thank you.